This is TWiT.
Started Appetize about 7 years ago, and before that, my two co-founders and I, Max and Jason, were fairly early on in our careers. Max in software and in technology here in Los Angeles, and Jason in operations. My background's actually in beverage distribution, so I was working in my family's beverage distribution company before Appetize, where I got to see some of the way that beverages and products were sold into large-scale enterprises like Staples Center and Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. And so with that background, I actually reconnected with Jason and Max. We went to junior high together, if you can believe it. We reconnected as three 23-year-olds, and we went to a Laker game and saw an incredibly broken, inefficient, expensive way of getting product in our seats. And the original idea was born in the seats at Staples Center, and we just thought that there would be a better way of ordering product. So our first product we launched back in 2012 was a mobile ordering app for consumers at concerts, and then the platform morphed tremendously over the next 4 or 5 years into something much greater than that. But sort of a fun story. It was three junior high friends reconnecting at a Laker game, and we were sick of waiting in long lines for $15 hot dogs and beers. And again, we just thought there was a better way of getting that product to us. So that was what's now a long 7 years ago.
Wow. Now, you've kind of alluded to this a little bit. Is POS systems kind of almost make or break an organization? In fact, they're actually responsible for all the cash and credit transactions, both from the front end and back end, creating reports for businesses along the front. Now, I used to work on Microsoft RMS back in the day, which included POS. So I know how broad and complex the space is. Can you maybe take us through the lay of the land now? Like what are people using in the industry, and how is Appetize helping?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting time in point of sale right now. It's a very divided time in point of sale. So you have the well-known sign up and go startups and now growth companies like Square and Shopkeep and Revel, who have predominantly focused on the SMB type of clients, the true sign up and go, typically stores or chains of less than, say, 15 or 20 locations. They've innovated in that they've been, delivering tablet technology, but they have not moved upstream into what we would determine to be enterprise. On the other side of the industry, you have the Oracle Micros, the NCR solutions, the Agilysys solutions of the world that are still predominantly on-premise. They're Windows-based and they're hardware-first providers, but they've been around for a long time. And so they've built out the enterprise features and functionalities that large-scale properties like we work with today have. And so it's a very divided time in point of sale right now. The folks that we predominantly compete against are Micros and NCR, as they've typically just dominated the industries that we're in. We operate in sports and entertainment, in education, business dining, convention centers, theme parks, and large-scale chain restaurants and retail outlets. And in those types of environments, for the most part, Square and Revel and Shopkeep and others and Toast haven't quite broken into that part of the industry. So it's a very divided time in point of sale right now. And for the most part, we're competing against the kind of big dogs or the 800-pound gorilla in the industry, which is still Oracle Micros and NCR, obviously both publicly traded large-scale competitors.
Now, you kind of said this a little bit. Now, you've been around quite a while, and have you guys always offered like that integrated solution between hardware and software? And does that kind of help with adopting and getting organizations to move off their legacy components?
Yeah, so very much so. So we're on non-proprietary hardware that typically costs about 50% of the price of an Oracle Micros or an NCR solution. It's non-proprietary, so we're not a hardware company. We're very much software first. But we've partnered with world-class hardware partners like Elo and Apple to provide awesome hardware solutions with oftentimes much better components than any one of our competitors can offer. So it's really been a best of both worlds where we can partner with best of breed hardware partners, stay strictly focused on software. And then even on the payment terminal side of things, we've partnered with one of the most secure payment gateways out there in Freedom Pay, and with Ingenico and a couple of other hardware providers that have even taken some of the payment and security risk out of scope for Appetize.
Makes sense. Now, you kind of talked a little bit about some of the other competitors in the space. I think you're saying that Square is more of a mobile space and they're targeting. Now, are they targeting a different part of the market as well? Are they targeting more small business versus enterprise? Because you tend to see a lot of small businesses and startups to say they have these devices, restaurants, and so on. And so when do they know, hey, I need to kind of grow up beyond that?
No doubt, and a great question. And we've all been to that, that coffee shop or restaurant where they're asking you to sign your signature on the screen on a Square device or a similar device. Today, Square is predominantly very much downstream, very much for the sign up and go, the small business. The complexity that our customers demand, and by the way, almost every week we refer business into Square and tell potential customers that they won't, take advantage of the horsepower we have, and that they very much might as well go with a very inexpensive Square solution. The horsepower that I'm talking about comes at the enterprise and the corporate level, as well as in the operational management layer of these enterprise businesses. So what Square has done really well is make an intuitive sign up and go POS on the front end, where you can take transactions and cashiers can learn the system really quickly, and you can take credit cards, within a day. They've done that incredibly well. They also have very simple reporting on the back end for managers to be able to run their business. So you sell a cheeseburger and the reporting says 1 cheeseburger and here's the price. The complexity is, again, in the operational management layer and the enterprise management layer upstream of that. And so the complexities when you're managing Yankee Stadium, which we have 800 devices at today and transact every dollar at. The complexity for the folks managing Yankee Stadium is that they have 300 business units, again, 800 POS systems, and thousands of employees touching the system at any given time. So the reporting, the menu management, and most importantly, the inventory management layer has to be incredibly robust and incredibly strong to be able to manage each individual ingredient, so that when I sell that cheeseburger, I'm not just reporting on one cheeseburger and the price. I'm actually depleting a bun out of the 12 bun package that came on the crate a month ago and is going to decay within 45 days. So I have 15 days left to sell that particular ingredient. So that's the real complexity that we've built out on the operational management layer. And then all of that data feeds up into the corporate management layer, where somebody like a Legends Hospitality that runs Yankee Stadium, Legends is based here in Los Angeles, they can view all of our corporate dashboards and run their business from a national standpoint across venues. So that's really the complexity that we've been able to build out. And that's the complexity that a lot of our sign up and go iPad POS competitors haven't been able to build out today.